I think probably Larne's ambitions moving forward will be to improve and progress really, and Kenny Bruce, he's made no secret of the fact that he wants to hear Champions League football at Inver Park. Now that's a big ask, but ultimately their number one ambition, target, whatever, is to try and win an historic first ever league title for the club. And that will be difficult because the Irish League's so competitive, particularly this season. And looking forward, it's going to be really competitive. But it's great that they suddenly have that ambition. I think the investment has had a huge transformative effect on Larne on and off the pitch. Off the pitch you can see sort of a redevelopment, a bright new redevelopment of Inver Park. And I remember going to Inver Park in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and always loved going there because it was a proper football ground. But at the same time it was quite primitive. But you can see a sort of a modern new Irish League venue evolving there with an increased capacity in the home grandstand, a new away stand, new social club, so on and so forth. They've new floodlights, they've installed a new synthetic pitch last season. So real sort of forward strides there, but also in terms of the squad, they've sort of recruited a higher quality of player.
I had been assistant manager at Glentoran for about 5.5 seasons, and when my time ended there, I thought it was worth having a little crack on my own and going from assistant manager and stepping up to becoming a manager. We make no bones about it at Larne Football Club. We're here to be successful. And the players that have come in the journey at the beginning won't necessarily end the journey. Those that are given the chance, they have to take it. If they don't take it, Larne Football Club's not going to stand still for anyone. And I don't mean that in a cruel way. I think that to be successful, there has to be a ruthlessness to what we do. As I say, we know where we are on our journey. We know where we need to go, and we know that the players that we have right now are good enough. We will always look to add. We tell the players on a regular basis that we will always replace the weakest link. Don't be the weakest link. But I think that's healthy for a football club. I think it's healthy that our owner insists that we go on to become a really successful club, and there's a responsibility with players in order to help fulfil that.
And I think it was probably Tomas Cosgrove and Jeff Hughes signing in the summer of 2018. Tomas, one of the best right backs in the Irish League. Jeff Hughes, who's been capped by Northern Ireland, played across the water with the likes of Tranmere and Bristol Rovers. And that probably made people sit up and take notice. So there have been massive forward strides both on and off the pitch at Larne. I think Larne coming up into the top division is a boost for the Irish League on probably two fronts, in terms of the quality that they've brought to the league, in terms of the quality of player and so on. They're kind of emerging as a top 6 club, and a club that will challenge for major honours.
I think we've adapted really well. I think we knew we're still very early in our journey. We know that we've still so much to achieve as a club, on and off the field. We knew that it was going to take players time to adjust to a different level of football. With all due respect to the Championship, there's a huge step up in class, there's a huge step up in fitness between the Championship and the Premiership, and we always knew it was going to take us a little bit of time. I still don't think we're totally there yet, but we're developing every week. You can see we're getting better. Every week you can see the players are starting to adapt a little bit more to the league and the surroundings. They're starting to get to know other teams, they're starting to get to know other players. So we're in a good place as far as that's concerned.
I was at Cliftonville and hadn't been in the team, and Tiernan had spoke to me when I was in the December, and I met up with him, Kenny and Gareth Clements, and just the vision that they had for the club was something that I really, really bought into, and everything that they said in that meeting came true, and it's a really good place to be at the minute. It's a challenging league to play in. It's physical, it's fast paced. There's a lot of teams that are getting in your face, and you don't get much time in the ball, so it's just about adapting to that. Last year, for the majority of the season, we had it our own way, and I think we've adapted well enough. Obviously, we can do better. We're sitting sixth in the table, and it's something that we're focusing on as a team to try and push up the table now.
To have that vibrant fan base there now, and a growing fan base, they've had 1,800 roughly for home games against the likes of Cliftonville and Glentoran. I've also seen very healthy away supports.
There's a real sense of something very, very special happening at the club. There's a real buzz around the town. There's a real buzz around everybody connected to the club. You can tell that everybody's on a journey here. There's huge excitement every single day, and there's a real sense of belief in what we're doing.
The fans have been brilliant, even with us when I first joined. They come out in their numbers. They're very vocal at home, and they help us out a lot. Even away from home, they travel in their numbers, and their support's been brilliant for us this season.
Very hard not to get consumed in it every single day. You go to bed thinking about it, you wake up in the morning thinking about it, your whole day's taken over by it. And people do say about, in order to be very successful, you have to learn to switch off. Unfortunately, I find it very hard to switch off. I'm not going to apologise for that. I absolutely love what I do. They're long days, you're on your phone a lot, you're always talking to people. But there's no better job. It's a job that you get to work week by week, and every week's different, setting up for another game and dealing with players differently, and dealing with supporters, and dealing with the owner, and dealing with the board, and it's an exciting job. It keeps you on your toes, and I think we've so much going on here as a club, and to say that there's a lot of very exciting times. We're developing all the time. We have a fantastic bunch of boys, and there's no better place to be at the moment. And I just hope that over time that I can get to bring the success that I think we deserve.
Obviously, the goal was to go full time, and they were in the championship at the time. They wanted to win that and get promoted in the Premiership, and we've done that. And it's just about now trying to push on and stake a claim in the Premiership, which I feel like we've done so far, and see where we go from here.
It would have been inconceivable 5, 10, 15 years ago that we would be talking in these terms. But Larne suddenly, they've emerged as a top 6 side, they've strengthened, they're adding real quality to the squad. And they have that foresight and desire to sort of kick on, and over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I can see them challenging at the top end of the table for major honours. And it would be a fantastic achievement for Larne if they could win a first ever Gibson Cup. It would be an incredible story as well for the Irish League. It would be a real sort of fairy tale story for the Irish League.